Hello. So I participated in a tournament yesterday. At the time of the recording of this video, I eventually win the tournament. This is the first time I participate in any Yu-Gi-Oh tournament and somehow I win it. I would say that I perform like normal standard, something like that, but there's like a lot of things that I can improve. There's like 3 games that I play at the final of the tournament against Elixir Mage. I will showcase the last match, what should I have done, and what I can improve with the end board. So let's get started.
俺がお前を倒す。俺たちが対峙する場には戦いの風が渦巻く。永遠にデュエル。
Okay, let's start the duel. So this is the hand that I got during the tournament final. And as you can see here, we have a lot of spells. So we can definitely resolve this Servant of Endymion 3 spell counter condition to special summon a monster from the deck and special summon the Servant of Endymion herself to the field. Let's start by scaling the Servant first. Then we use the Mystical Institution, search for a Baby Jackal. Normal summon Baby Jackal. Then we activate spell to draw another card. And then we can activate Mystical Institution. We have a few options here. I already know my opponent have nothing to stop me. Either they are hiding the toggle, if my opponent is hiding the toggle, if it is a Ash or is it a Ghost Ogre. And in this kind of situation, I say that Ghost Ogre is much more devastating. What we should do here is take 3 spell, summon Jackal King, and then we activate the Spell Power Mastery. Place a spell counter on 7. With this, we have a 2 spell counter on the Jackal King and 3 spell counter on the Servant, which I didn't do in the tournament last time. In this way, I am protected from opponent ashing or maybe just Ghost Ogre my Servant here. So from here, we already have a hide skill from the Endymion that we search using the Spell Power Mastery. So we go for Specialist. Somewhere in the middle, because we are going to link it away, use the Specialist. But if you want to be safe, we can actually scale this first. We can actually scale the Endymion here first. And then we take the spell counter. This way, my opponent cannot like effect veiler me when I activate the Specialist here. And then from here on out, we can go for Electromite. And then we take the Astrograph from the deck. And then we do the hopping here. Destroy the Endymion. Take back the Astrograph Sorcerer. Okay, and then let's see what we draw here. And we draw into Garuda. We have not resolved any Into the Void here, so we can keep our hand. And this Garuda will be another disruption, which we use this to bounce a monster card that my opponent summon. Either normal summon or special summon, something like that. And from here, how can we make this board more cracked than ever. So we go for Promethean Princess. Promethean Princess is going to reuse the Astral Sorcerer, and then we are going to get another card from the deck. So what card do we want to get from the deck? There's a lot of options here. We can either get another Baby Jacker, or we can get another Servant of Endymion from the deck, because this deck run 3 Servant, and this deck also run 2 Baby Jacker, so we still have a card in our deck. And this deck doesn't run 3 Endymion. This deck only run 2 Endymion, so there is no more Endymion for the deck. So the best option here is we pop the Baby Jacker here. Promethean Princess. We scale the Baby Jacker, and we destroy the Baby Jacker here. And we will scale the Endymion here, and we destroy the Emblem. Why? Because we want to reuse the Electromoid a 3rd time. And when we destroy the Emblem here, we are going to trigger the Astrograph. Astrograph is going to get us another Baby Jacker from the deck. So let's do that. Special summon Emblem. Scale the Endymion here. Destroy Emblem. Emblem trigger. Resummon the Electromoid. Astral Sorcerer trigger. We're going to link the Astral Sorcerer away, so we summon it at the middle. This board has more spell counter if we scale the Baby Jacker again. When Baby Jacker got destroyed, this mystical institution is going to gain 2 spell counter for each one of them. And then we get back the enemy here to balance our scale here, so that we can go for Pendulum Summon. From here, in the tournament, I go for the Jacker King, but actually the better option may be Reflection of Endymion, so that I can bounce a card from my opponent field. So before we go for the Reflection, let's maximize our spell counter first. We scale the servant here, and then we scale the enemy here. We take a Reflection from the deck, link away the Endymion and the Astrograph, so we take from the Endymion here. And then we take from the servant here, because we are going for the Beyond the Pendulum. And then the rest we can just take from the Jacker King. Now, after we go for the Beyond the Pendulum, and then we search for the Majesty Pegasus, we have a target to throw into the graveyard, which is the Reflection of Endymion. From here, we just pan summon out the Majesty Pegasus, and Majesty Pegasus is going to search for a field spell, which is the Secret Village. So we pen summon. Definitely pen summon the Pegasus here. And then we pen summon out Endymion and Astrova Sorcerer. Majesty Pegasus trigger, and we get our Secret Village. And then we throw the reflection into the graveyard. And from here we can go for the usual combo. We summon the Old Eye Astral Dragon. But before that, we are not going to summon another Jacob King. We just scale the Secret Village first. And we want to summon Celine. But which zone do we want to summon the Celine? We want to summon Celine at a place that have a lot of like free spaces under her. So we are going to summon on the right side. Vortex Dragon is not a Pendulum Master. And in the case that my opponent destroy my Pendulum Master, I want to make sure that I can pen summon it out. So I'm going to summon the Celine on the right side. Summon Vortex Dragon. Endymion is a negate for the spell and trap, while this reflection is a card that can bounce my opponent's card. So what we should do here is we take the card that is not a negate, which is the Astrograph. And then we summon the IP. With this, if my opponent just like immediately normal summon, I can immediately use my Garuda. Garuda is going to bounce the spellcaster. Or if my opponent is like special summoning or something like that, I can also use my reflection, but I would rather just use the Garuda to bounce my opponent card first. And then after that, if we can, we use the IP Masquerena, link away with the Garuda, and then we go for SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight got summoned, and then we can banish a card. And then when my opponent summon another monster on the field, we can banish it again. So SP Little Knight herself is 2 disruption. So in total we have Old Eyes 1, we have Jacob King 2, SP and 4, and then we have double destruction, which is the Ambroville and the Prominent Princess, which is like 6 already. And then we have a Garuda, and then we can summon another card from the graveyard. So it's around 8 actually. And then we still have Secret Village, which prevent them from activating any spell card if they doesn't control any spellcaster. So this should be like a better end board that I can make during the final stage of the matches. So I hope you guys enjoy this kind of gameplay review. See you guys soon in the next video. Ciao.